Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the Pulse of Rescue Nation, brought to you by XCancer. Check them out at xcancer.com. This is my gut reaction to Nebraska getting their first win of the season over North Dakota. Now, there were some positives. There was some negatives. There were things that were good. There were things that weren't so good. So I'm going to talk about my top three positives. Okay? And then the top three things that stood out to me that got to get improved or addressed in some way, shape, or form immediately going forward. Now, this isn't one of my three positives, but just right off the top, we got the W. And let's be honest, there was a point in the game where I didn't know if it was going to happen. It was like old Dominion Va-Tech. It was like what ECU almost did to NC State. You want to talk about special teams killing a team. I don't know if you saw that ECU game, but I digress. Okay, we got the win. Again, I wasn't sure that was going to happen for a while, but here are my top three positives. Second half adjustments. Holy Moses Malone, we saw second half adjustments. Nebraska scored 31 points in the second half and 21 unanswered. The game was tied 17-17 and 21 unanswered points and 31 points in the second half as a whole after only scoring 7 in the first half. So we saw some second half adjustments. Hadn't seen a lot of that in Scott Frost's tenure so far. All right, number two, thank God for Anthony Grant and Garrett Nelson. We finally have a bell cow at running back. He's the best running back we've had here since Amir Abdullah. And I know Divino Zigbo was really, really good, but those guys like Anthony Grant is our running game almost single-handedly by himself at times. I not only great athleticism, tough to bring down. I love how he runs with I don't want to say hate in his heart, but man, he runs with physicality and he ain't going to go down easy. And then you look at Garrett Nelson, he's clearly the leader of this defense. At halftime, 6 quarters, okay, 4 quarters versus Northwestern, 2 quarters versus North Dakota. We had no sacks, okay, as a defense. We had 2 tackles for loss in those 6 quarters, none in the first half versus North Dakota. North Dakota had controlled the ball for 20 minutes, all right, in that first half as well. Garrett Nelson comes out, okay, he's making plays in the backfield. He gets the strip sack, causes the fumble, the turnover, which kind of, in my opinion, kind of turned the tide a little bit in the game. And I just want to mention A.J. Allen, this true freshman. He's the guy that gives you reason for excitement for the future, especially at that running back position. We got the bell cow on offense finally. We got a leader on the team as well, specifically the defense. And Nelson, A.J. Allen, is the guy who's going to have a bright future here at the University of Nebraska. One final positive. All right, and this is going to might strike people as funny. It wasn't pretty. It really should have never been close. Now, when I last looked at the spread, I think somebody told me it was like 30 points. The last time I looked, it was 21 and a half. And the guy, when my buddy looked at me, he goes, "Are you taking the over the under?" I'm like, 21 and a half? No. Nebraska's going to win by 3 touchdowns or less. I ain't taking the over. And then I think the spread went all the way up to minus 30. If I'm wrong, I'm going to blame it on my friend. But here's the deal. I don't mind winning ugly sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, because it means you found a way to win when things aren't going your way. Okay, 3 things that got to be addressed. All right, and I fear number 1 is we're going to have O-line issues all year long. I fear that. I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully we can vastly and quickly improve up front. Defensive line, honestly, we did not play physical on a consistent basis. We did not tackle well as a defense. We were slow to get lined up at times, and finally we made some adjustments as the game went along and did a little bit better and better. But North Dakota held the ball 10 minutes longer than we did in the time of possession department. They averaged over 5 yards a carry. We got to be more physical on the D-line. We got to tackle better as a defense. And special teams. All right, the special teams continues to do funny things. I mean, Jevin Wright partially blocks a punt. Yes. And then everybody get away. No, here comes my man. I'm going to say his name, just not trying to call anybody out, but Wyatt Lure touches the ball, almost gives the ball back to North Dakota. Luckily, we do end up keeping it. We also had a muffed kickoff return, okay, which pinned us at our own 12-yard line at one point in the game. We tried a squib kick. It looked like a bad onside kick. It hit their front line player on their kickoff return team. I don't believe it was an onside kick. I believe it was a squib kick that just happened to hit their player. Okay, but squib kicks aren't hard to do. Find a hole, kick a line drive, let it bounce all over the place. I teach my 7th graders to do this stuff. All right, and then Timmy Bleekrud, he made his first field goal here at the University of Nebraska. He also missed his first one. They weren't incredibly short, but that first one was makeable, I thought. To me, that's something that will get better as we go along. All right, my final gut reaction, we got the win. It wasn't pretty. There's pluses, there's minuses, obviously, from this game. I'm excited that I don't have to talk about firing Scott Frost, because there was a point in the game where I was getting texts from people, hey, does a head coach get fired in the middle of a game? Does that ever happen? I was like, I don't want to talk about that. So thank God I don't have to do that. Do me a favor, like, comment on this video. What did I miss? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Comment and like. And until next time, Husker Nation, go Big Red. Tune in to Carriker Live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Throw the bones. This show is brought to you by XCancer. Join the fight at XCancerStore.com and support your loved ones, your neighbors, and cancer fighters all over the world and help them gain access to revolutionary treatments. XCancerStore.com has a wide variety of t-shirts and merchandise supporting a wide variety of cancer battles so you can show off the colors that matter. Proceeds from each purchase not only help those at home, but also cancer fighters in Tanzania, Africa. Check them out at XCancerStore.com.